plane, check in. Penthouse suite, check in. When your feet hit the street, check in. Cause if not, shit get hot, you better check it in.
Welcome to the West Side, checking in. We got Big U, the most notorious, good looking, tall, dark skinned, bad with an S on his chest man on the planet Earth. Yes, I got an S on my chest. And we're interviewing another younger version with an S on his chest, Mr. Shaquille O'Neal. I'm checking in.
You sound like Brian Gumbo, brother.
God damn it. God damn it.
What's happening?
They got a Crip sounding like Brian Gumbo. Fuck you, me. Hey, man, look, let me tell you something, man. Look, it's a pleasure to have you here. You know what I mean? I'm just not trying to crack this talking shit. And as you know, of course, we're going to do that. And it was a pleasure to have my young twin. You know what? I get so many people to tell me Shaq look like you. You know, I gotta say.
You know what's crazy? I'm just now finding out that Draws and you was the same guy. No, seriously, cause like when I first got to LA, it was like, yo, man, you look like my cousin Big Draws. I'm like, who? And like, you know, like I kept hearing the name, and then my man SHAQ finally introduced us.
Right.
And I just want to say, brother, I'm proud of you, brother.
Nah, I appreciate it, man.
You know, I watched that documentary, and I learned a lot of stuff that I didn't know. And this one's I'm proud of, especially like what you do with the youth. That's big.
Yeah, I've been doing that for years, man. And it's crazy that you say you didn't know Big U and Draws was the same. I did a giveaway in 2010, and Shaq donated us to Big U $20,000 to help us get a truck to feed 400 people. This man does so much that he don't even know he did that.
No, I do it.
You remember that?
Yeah, I know I did it. Listen, when I first got to LA, I wanted to learn about the culture.
Right.
I wanted to involve myself, and I wanted to be there. Because even though you're from LA, I'm from Newark, it's pretty much the same place.
Mm-hmm. I just left Newark.
I know you was in Newark yesterday, so shout out to my OGs, Wadu and Mustafa and Sultana. They kept me off the block.
Right.
They wouldn't let me do none of that. Like, nah, you're not doing that. Go over there and play ball. So when I became the Shaq, I always wanted to, you know, look out for the kids. So I did something down in Main Street. I did something at Grape Street. I brought Snow one time to Watts.
Yeah.
I brought Snow to Watts. The kids was like, Uncle Shaq, we want some snow. I didn't know what I was going to do. I called some of my homeboys. I made them drive up to Big Bear. We got two trucks. We got some snow. We brought it back. I just wanted to be the one that the kids can say, hey, if he did it, I did it. I'm not one of these superstars that's out of reach, out of touch. I wanted to be the guy that say, hey, here I am, by myself. I did it. This is how I did it. I'm giving you the answers to the test. Maybe you can do it, and maybe you can get out too. So every city I go to, I tried to do that. So when I, found out that you was doing stuff and you needed a little help, look, I've been doing that since 1992.
And that was beautiful because that was SHAQ. It was SHAQ and Ludacris. It was I put it up on YouTube. We put it on World Star. It was the Ludacris It was Shaquille O'Neal, Ludacris Foundation, and Developing Option, and that was big. But you spoke on something, man, that's really dear to my heart, and about the brothers. You moved on. Dale Dog was a good friend of mine.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I know Dale Dog was a good friend of yours. But what people don't realize is that a lot of people don't know how to come in and connect to these different areas that they come into in these different neighborhoods. And you said something that was key, and that was something that was real key in the documentary about people trying to help and not really harm. And I think that a lot of our athletes and our successful people in whatever form they is, they think that when they're going back to the hood, it's gonna hurt them. And me being somebody who has sent countless amount of kids into sports, I know where they get lost when they get to these colleges. Because in these colleges, they tell them, stay away from the hood, watch yourself from the hood, they're gonna do this, gonna do that, but when they fall off, they only got the hood to go back to after the run is over. But you were able to take your successes and then go and stay founded and grounded in the neighborhood. And you mentioned 3 brothers. I would just like you to kind of speak on, like, tell us who they are and how did that help? How did they do that with you?
When you run your own organization, there is no they.
Right.
Image is reality. Can't create an image for me. I'm from the hood. Why would I turn my back?
Right, real talk.
I sell shoes at Walmart. They buy my shoes. Why would I turn my back?
That was big.
I sell jerseys. I'm one of the number one selling jerseys. Me and Kobe at the time. Why would I turn my back? They need me. They need to see me. So when they see me, I have to give them who I am. I can't go down there in no suit and to this, to that. They don't want to hear that. You have to speak the language. I speak the language. I have the ability to had learned the other language.
Right.
A lot of people don't get to learn the other language of business and all that, but I still speak this language. So when I go down there, hey man, listen to your mom, listen to your dad, make sure you go to school. Or you want to make it to the NFL? Watch this dude right here. You want to make it to the NBA? Watch this dude right here. And that's always been my process. So I run SHAQ. SHAQ is controlled by me and my mother, Dr. Shaquille O'Neal. I ain't gonna never turn my back on my children. Right. I came out of the Orlando arena one day and this lady was mad. You motherfuckers always selling shoes for $200. I was like, ma'am, I don't make the price. I had about 5,000. I was like, here you go buy them whatever you want, Jordans, whatever you want. And she smacked the money on my hand. Psh, why don't you make some affordable shoes? That day I dropped my contract with Reebok, and I was making like $7 a year. Right. And I decided, I said, you know what? I went home and I talked to my mom. I said, this lady smacked the money on me. She said, baby, you remember when we couldn't afford those shoes? I had shoes that had a bullshit theme song. Buddies, they make your feet feel fine. Buddies, they cost $1.99, right? So I decided to stop selling my baby shoes for $100 and $200. So I just, so my price point is $39, $29, $19. And because I realize it's not the kids don't want to wear shoes that cost $19. They don't want to wear shoes that look like they cost $19. Right. So I put everything I got into shoes, and I'm losing a lot of money, but kids are happy.
Right, but the concept is you helping people, you helping kids, and that's important because that's what I do on a regular basis.
I see you.
Yeah, I do it on a regular basis, man, and then people don't understand that shoes are so important because shoes stop kids from going to school.
I know.
Kids won't go to school because they get teased at schools. They don't at school. They don't have shoes to wear. And I was young, just like you, coming up. And my mother was a single mother. My pops was in Chicago. And first thing we went out and stole. First thing I ever stole was cereals. First thing I ever stole was some Captain Crunch cereals.
You like Captain Crunch?
Man, I had to back in the day.
Man, Frosted Flakes, dog.
Man, hell no. I had Captain Crunch.
I'm on a box of Frosted Flakes now.
Okay, yeah, Frosted Flakes.
Ain't that big?
You bought the Frosted Flakes.
I know, yeah. Right.
Hey, but you got a whole lot of first though, bro. You got a first person. No, you're not the first one to break the rim. That was Daryl Dawkins.
Yes, Daryl Dawkins.
Daryl Dawkins. It was
Chocolate Thunder.
Chocolate Thunder.
Yeah.
The Dunkathon. And then the next man that came with all the great names was Shaquille O'Neal.
Because I'm the type, if you say I can't do it, I got to do it. So I remember I'm one of the only athletes that never had to try out. Because I knew I was going to be the first, second, and third pick. So I met with the owner. He's like, you're not going to try out? I'm like, no, I'm not going to try out. He's like, well, we think about picking. I said, well, if you do, cool. I said, if you do, I'm about to change all this.
Right.
Because it was my time. It was my time to, and like, my motivation is very simple. I want to get my mom a new house. Ain't nothing stopping me from getting my mom a new house. So I already know I'm getting off, right? And then the money game started changing. So then they go like a different motivation. So when I first get to Orlando, I changed it around. It wasn't working, so I go to LA. So now when I get to LA, they say, hey man, you can't do what Kareem did. You can't do this, you can't do that. So I'm the type that when I hear that, it really gets me motivated. And some people need that. See, I'm the type that when you tell me I can't do it, I'm not gonna fold. I'm gonna just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. So the haters, I love haters because I'm able to read a comment, stop time, and see if there's any truth in the comment. Right. If not, I don't pay it no mind. I made this quote up for my kids because you know how kids are, like they read stuff on the internet. So my quote is, if a nobody can influence a somebody, then the nobody wins. But the question of the day is, who the fuck are you? Nobody.
I need that.
Yeah. So
I need to record that.
Like we look at all these people in the comments, but we have to realize if they're under us, we should never listen to them.
Never pay no attention.
If they're over me, like if they like I go with a lot of big guys now, right? You know why? Because Kareem did the same to me.
But
Kareem did the same to me.
I
So
see it.
you see what I'm saying? So like they were saying, oh, Shaq's the best, this, the best, that, and Kareem would say he ain't win yet. So instead of me crying and going, oh, Kareem, I'd have to look at it and be like, okay, this is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 38 stacks, 5 rings. Shaq ain't win yet, so Shaq really ain't that good. Okay, Mr. Kareem, you right. Let me go win. See, now when you give somebody constructive criticism, they want to cry.
Because I see, what's his name took it well though. What was the kid name? With the afro that you was just talking to? You
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really criticizing him. I was just testing his temperature.
Right.
Like I wanted him to, like when I said, hey man, I don't think you got what it takes to go to the next level, I wanted to see what type of dog he was. He was nice about it.
Yeah, he
okay.
was.
But I would have rather what? Blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? You know, like the youngsters do now. But look, he's a great player. He's having a great year. I wish him well. See, when I do my job, criticism to me is I'm giving you information.
Mm-hmm.
And think about, like, when you talk about what you talk about, you got classification to
do
talk
it.
about
Yeah,
what
exactly.
you talk about.
Like the little kid, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I talk about what it takes to be a great basketball player, y'all know I got classification.
Yeah.
So don't take it as criticism, take it as information. But you know how these youngsters are.
So I got I'm a diehard Laker fan. Live and die. What was the real reason got you to LA? What was the conversation? Or do you already want to come to LA when you left Orlando?
So the conversation was, when I left Orlando, I wanted big money. I wanted 100 something.
But there was other people that could have offered you the 100 too.
No, but I was already there. I'm building a house, 70,000 square feet. I'm playing with the great Penny Hardaway. So I go in. I start off at 150. I knew I wasn't gonna get 150. I started off at 150. So they say no guy's worth 100 million. So we had the Olympics here in Atlanta, and I was getting ready to sign. But money marketed him, and my uncle, they was like, "Don't sign. Hold off."
You was getting ready to sign to
Yes.
Atlanta?
No, I was getting ready to sign to Orlando.
Back to Orlando.
80 for 4, which is 20 a year, which is pretty good. But they was like, "No, don't wait. Don't sign. A couple of days later, Juwan signs for 110. Alonzo signs for 115. So I called the owner and said, hey, if you pay 115 for a BMW, how much you think a S-Class Mercedes costs?
For a BMW.
Right? So they was like, no, we not doing it. So then I come back to Atlanta, we doing the Olympics. Me and Mark at Magic City. Me, Mark, and Uncle Jerome. And my agent called me and said, hey man, get over to the Omni Hotel now. I got some great news for you. So we get there, I see the great Mr. Jerry West downstairs. So we go upstairs. I don't know what's going on. We go upstairs and Jerry West said, you want the good news or you want the bad news? I said, I'll take the bad news. He said, I can't get you 150. I tried everything and I'm trading some players. I can't get it. He said, but I can get you 120. So I signed right away. And then this is the crazy part. As I'm signing, he said, hey, I got this kid who we just traded for from Charlotte. You and him going to win multiple championships. But I wasn't worried about him. Like, who the kid? He's like, Kobe Bryant. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm trying to get to this.
120.
Yeah, 120 and all them dog. When I look at that paper, I'm seeing all them zeros, dog. I was like, but I didn't tell my family. I didn't tell Penny. I didn't tell nobody. So,
Well, you didn't tell nobody?
No, I didn't tell nobody. Cause bro, we was in Magic City just chilling. This happened like 3 a.m. Cause I was here for the Olympics. So, like we had practice next morning. Man, I signed that thing, and then the next day it hit. I had to call my family. I had to, tell. Penny was actually on the team at the time.
Right.
So like he didn't know either. So, but
because I remember that.
And then people don't understand is every time we lost in Orlando, I was in LA anyway. I was there anyway. So like if we lost on a Sunday, I'm in LA Sunday night just chilling.
So it was just natural.
Yes. So when I got there, I already had a house there and on Manhattan Beach. I was already comfortable with the players. I remember the first time I almost got in trouble. When I first get to LA, I got on all the cross color stuff. and I'm chasing this person, and I end up in the jungle.
Oh.
So one of the homies pulled me aside. He said, "Hey man, I know you ain't from out here, but one, leave her alone, and two, you can't be wearing all that in the neighborhood." Cause look, I'm from Newark. I didn't know nothing about it. I saw colors and boys in the hood and all that, but hey, light skin with that long hair, I had to get it.
All right, hold on, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna come back to the LA street, the street code, but I gotta go back because I
homie pulled up on me and said, "Hey man, you got on red shorts, red
top."
top."
Like, come on, man. What was he driving?
A convertible red car.
Oh.
He's like, "Hey man,
Well, you was good in the jungles. It's just everywhere else you was in trouble.
He's like, "Hey man,
at that
get up
time,
out of here." I was like, "My bad."
At that time, yeah,
I was 20 years old out in LA. Yeah.
But I got to go back though, because I want to jump in. I want to go back. I'm gonna backtrack to the contract. You was how old?
I think it was 96, 24.
24. You was not married.
No.
So
no.
now here you go. Let me set the stage. You 24. You in Magic City. Dark skinned, light skinned, thick, slim. What was the choice?
I'm not gonna answer that question.
You not married at that time.
No,
what was the choice, man? It was one of them that was getting the attention. Dark, thick.
I like how you answered the question, but we can't do that these days. I love all beautiful women. You know you can't say this and that.
Thick.
Bro, I'm not doing that, bro. If I answer no, I'm not answering that.
Magic City.
Strike that from the tape.
Magic City, man. Magic City. 24 years old.
I was in there eating chicken wings.
They didn't have lemon pepper chicken wings.
Yeah, they did.
But it is.
Yep.
So it was the lemon pepper chicken wings that won the night.
And you know what's crazy?
So after you signed a contract for 120. It was only you celebrated with the lemon pepper chicken wing?
No, I was in the room and I couldn't believe it. I was dolo that night.
Okay. What did Mark do? Did Mark go back there?
Hey,
Okay, we ain't gonna tell us what Mark did.
Exactly.
I'm gonna just assume what my partner Mark did.
Rule number one: I don't know nothing. I ain't see nothing.
Okay.
Mark who? I don't know nobody named Mark.
Shouts out to my partner, buddy Mark, man. Look, man, let me tell you about this guy. When I first came home out of prison, I linked up with Mark, and Mark really showed me the world. But he didn't give me my gold boots. I didn't find out till he let me. Look, I'm in Atlanta. Every time I come to Atlanta, I'm in the Purple House. Man, he take me out to ski to see my son play. I got the autographed SHAQ shoes and jersey, but I didn't know I was missing the boots. So I'm really not an official. So I ain't gonna put Shaq to the task and because I've been going around telling people I was official, that I was an honorary. I didn't cross the seat. I don't know all the rules, but I thought I was with the purple team. You know what I mean? Mark didn't even tell me that, and Bear told me I needed some gold boots. What are the gold boots?
I cannot answer that, sir.
God damn it, this man can't answer nothing.
No, hey man, look, I'm from your era.
Right.
I don't know nothing about no gold boots.
I'm not official, man. This is the first fucking time I'm not officially something. And am I too old to go?
No, you good. Let me tell you something. You know the right person. Money Mark.
Man, they give me the gold boots though.
Bro, hey,
you know how many people out there don't know I've been
good. Trust me.
So I get and I know you gotta have my side because you
22.
And I'm a 14.
You a 14?
Yes, I'm a 14.
If I hook you up with some SHAQs, you gonna wear them?
You goddamn right I'm gonna wear
You ain't
them.
gonna wear them.
Why wouldn't I wear them?
All right, I got you.
Why wouldn't I wear them? Shit.
I got you.
You're a fucking legend.
Me?
Yeah.
And what are you?
I'm
A legend?
I'm a legend.
All day, every day. Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't know how I guess I'm a legend did.
You
I
are.
heard it from the big fella. Look, let's go back to you signed to LA, the new team. Before we seen Kobe, man, Eddie Jones was my man.
We had
Go back to Eddie, man.
we had a very talented team, but I didn't know what it took to be a great leader yet.
Right.
And before I got to LA, we got swept by the Bulls And Michael Jordan tells me after they sweep us, before you succeed, you must first learn to fail.
Mm-hmm.
And he just tells me that, and I have no idea what he's talking about. But I'm in LA, and I'm with these guys. I didn't have what it takes to be a great leader. I was out there doing too much. I was doing videos with Snoop and Dub C and Ice Cube and hanging out and at the SHAQ bar and, you know, at the gate. At the, what's that, Century Club on Sunday? Like,
I was gone, man. I left in '91.
Oh, you was on vacation?
I was on vacation. I was upstate.
Okay.
You know,
So I was
working on some
when I
things. So
first
you
got
kind of
there-
gonna educate me on LA.
So yeah, when I first got there, I was doing too much, and then finally when Phil came, he kind of taught me how to take it to that next level.
But Phil came the next year, right?
No, Phil came in 2000, 99, 2000. So we had got swept 3 years in a row. Either Utah or San Antonio just kept sweeping us. And that's when Kareem came out and said, "Hey, Shaq's good, but he ain't that good." But I couldn't say nothing because that's Kareem. Now, if Bill Walton would have said something, I would have gotten his ass. But that's Kareem. Like, you can't say nothing like when Kareem, like the greatest big man ever, said something. So I was like, you know what? Maybe he's right. Well, let me put all this, rapping, the video, commercials. Let me put that down.
Remember, I called you a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago,
About what?
about who was the fastest,
Yeah,
you
did.
or Kareem.
Me. What you talking about? All day, every day.
Then a younger Kareem. I'm talking about Lou Alcindor now.
Hold on, let me go
I'm talking about Lou Alcindor. We was talking
go back.
about. I called you because me and my partner was arguing, and a lot of these dudes are so young they don't remember Lou Alcindor.
Me.
You think the young Shaq was faster than Lou Alcindor?
Yeah, faster and stronger.
Well, definitely stronger.
And a lot more style. Because like all these kids, they look at Giannis. I was the first big boy to bring that thing up.
Right.
Go coast to coast with it. Me.
And you had an S on your chest.
Yes. I was the first one to in and out, behind the back, look away from that was me.
No, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So, young Kareem, young Shaq. I'm going to go with young Shaq. Always.
All right, big bro. What's your starting five?
Jordan. Kobe. Magic. Malone. Olajuwon.
Okay. First three. Okay. Cool.
Because these days it ain't really no 1, 2, 3 anymore. So like I'm thinking about to win a game. Magic at the point. Kobe and Mike on the wing. Malone, and then you got Olajuwon. Because nobody can guard Olajuwon one-on-one. Nobody.
Right.
Ever.
And who's the shooter?
Who's the shooter? I don't need a shooter.
Because you got defense.
Jordan can shoot. Kobe can shoot. Just think about like when you think about shooters, other guys can shoot, but it's only one great shooter that's winning championships that I've seen in a long time. That's Steph Curry. Like a lot of guys can shoot, but like Mike can score, Kobe can score, Magic can get him the ball. I'm happy with that.
I'm changing one person.
Who?
I want to go Kevin Durant.
Over who?
Not over Olajuwon because you the power. Kevin Durant. I want to take Kevin Durant for Olajuwon. That's the only person. Because he long, he stretch. You power already.
No, I'm not in that. I'm not in that.
No, I'm putting you in there. You got to go in there. You took yourself out the starting five?
Yeah.
Oh hell no. Let me give you my starting five then. We got the five is you.
Right.
The four is Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Then Kobe, Magic, and Jordan.
That's a nice team. You got me in your starting five?
I got you in my starting five. Nigga, I'm not gonna have my twin in the starting five. That's
not
like
in
me
my-
being in the starting five.
I would probably say I'm the fourth best big man ever. I don't mind that.
Who would be the
Kareem, Wilt, and Bill. And me.
you would consider Bill?
You gotta give it up to him.
All right, I'm not giving it to him. I'm just saying it was what 8, 9 teams.
Yeah, it was, but
It was 8, 9 teams,
but
and most of the dudes who was playing and starting wasn't really all basketball.
if it wasn't for, listen to what I'm saying now. If it wasn't for you, it wouldn't be a lot of cats, right?
Right. Yeah.
If it wasn't for Bill, it wouldn't be me. So I
Gotcha.
always show respect to those guys. Even though I'm probably better, but I just Kareem, 38,000 points. Will Chamberlain, one of the most dominant or the most dominant ever.
Yes.
Bill Russell, 11 championships. I always try to, show respect and, give. But in my mind, when I'm talking to myself, it's always
All right,
about
then,
me.
goddamn. Sometimes I gotta be in my mind and do like you said, not look at the bottom comments.
Yeah,
Sometimes I gotta. You know what I mean?
Because if you pay attention to the comments, you're gonna drive yourself crazy. Because that's like an all-day job.
Yeah, I don't pay attention
about
to
it. It's
it.
like
I
an
might
all-day
catch
job.
one or two, and if it's somebody I know, then I'm gonna respond back.
Yeah,
Hey man, listen. How you like being an analyst?
I like it.
You like it? I can tell you having fun.
Because our show, they allow us to be who we are. Like when I'm sitting watching guys speak and they talk about, certain stuff, I'm quick to say, how do you know? But you can't say that about me, or Barkley, or even Kenny, or even Ernie. And then, and then the fact that, we know that the games are late, we keeping you up past 12. We want to be something more than just talk about stats and talk about play. We want to just, do a lot of stuff. It's fun. I probably can do it. I probably can do this job. I probably wouldn't do as well on ESPN, just looking at the camera and talking. And, Stephen A. got all that locked down over there. But, they allow us to be who we are over there and, just have fun. So it's cool. Sometimes when I try to give guys criticism, they take it personal.
All right. I got a phone. I'm going to switch it up now. I was on the phone this morning with E40. He said to ask you how come y'all never did a song together when y'all was on.
I know. One of my biggest regrets. I know.
Yeah, he told me he asked you that.
I know. Because look, coming up, being on punishment, certain days I wanted to be a rapper. Because I wear my chain every day. So, a lot of people don't know I still got all my gold chains. I want to be a rapper.
Man, move in on that.
Diesel Dog Mafia. So I wanted to be a rapper. Other days I wanted to be a wrestler. I did the wrestling thing the other night.
I seen it.
Other days I want to be a businessman. I want to own a block. Other days I want to be out with the boys doing what we do. Other days I want to be a basketball player. So I have practice at all of that. Practice like this, this is all we did. So right before I got drafted, I went on an Arsenio Hall show, and I said, okay, the world's about to see me. I don't want to just come on in a $1,500 suit. Market took me shopping. I had this cold suit. Man, I don't want to do that. I want to do something else. So Arsenio said, what you want to do? I was like, I want to rap with my favorite rapper. And that was Fu Schnickens at the time, and this is the clip right here.
Shaquille O'Neal and Fu Schnickens. Yes, man.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. That was who again?
Fu Schnickens. You remember that?
Foosh Snickens.
Yeah. You
I have no
that?
fucking clue who the fuck.
Bro,
Foosh
you don't know Fu Schnickens?
No, I don't.
Bro,
I was all gangster rap. I was all street.
Okay, right.
Who the hell was Foosh Snickens?
Fu Schnickens was some three brothers out of New York, similar to Wu-Tang Clan. They was tight.
Oh.
Chip Fu, Mike Fu, Pac Fu. So anyway, I did a song. It was called What's Up, Doc? So the next day, my agent called me and said, bro, you're not going to believe this. I said, what? He said, you got a $10 million 3-album deal lined up on the table. So I met with the executives, and I was like, look, I'm not no rapper. I said, but if you allow me to bring all my favorite artists in, I'll do it. They said, yeah, we'll get whatever you want. So I'm proud to say Jay-Z, Nas, Snoop, Lord Tariq, Peter Guns, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, Dub C, DJ Quick, Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, and I hope I'm not missing anybody.
Wait a minute, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Jackson?
Oh, yeah.
What year did that come out?
On his album.
What year did you drop that
I
project?
don't know the year, but on his album, I think the name of the song was called Bad. So that was my thing, like being able to just get in there with my favorite artists. Biggie was...
Yeah,
Biggie was... I ain't never seen nothing like that.
No, Biggie was hard, bro.
So Biggie said my name in the song. So I'm like, damn, he knows who I am. And then, like, even though I'm the SHAQ, when certain people know me, I still get, like, in kid mode. Like, when I first popped in the forum and you see Denzel right there, and Denzel go like this. I'm like, damn, Denzel know who I am. So Biggie said my name in the song. So now I'm like, I said, hey, Money Mark, try to get in touch with Biggie. Money Mark get in touch with Frank. Frank get in touch with Biggie. So Biggie coming down. So I had the studio in the house. So that don't sound right. That don't sound right. So finally I get it to where it was okay. And I bring Biggie down, it's Biggie and Lil C's, and Biggie come in, and I'm like, I just hope you like it. So, you know how we are in hip hop, we don't get too happy, but if we start doing this, we good. We good. So he started doing this, and he was like, that's tight, big dog. So I was like, all right, here's a pen, here's a pad, I'm gonna be in the house, hit this button right here, just call me to get done. He said, no, I'm ready right now. He never heard the track or nothing. Like, what you mean you ready right now? He said, I'm ready right now. Bro, and I tell you, this first take, 3 minutes, no mistakes, no stop, and then the first take was crazy. I'm the only one that got what he originally said, and then I had to hit that button. I was like, big. He said, oh, that's right, these are kids. And then the verse you heard in the song, that's the one he spit. But it was one take. Then after that, we was in the house eating. We was on the Sea-Doos. We was having a good time. We was talking. We was talking about our moms, and he was a great dude. He really was.
Nah, that's good, man. I remember my first time getting hip to Biggie. I was at Calipatch State Prison, and my little brother, he was big, black, looked just like Biggie. I mean, he sent me the album, and he sent me the CD, and I just got to. I was in Ironwood, and we had just got through. So it was a war going on between the races at the time. So we was on lockdown. So when he sent it to me, he sent me that one and the Wu-Tang Clan, and I'm like, who is these dudes? So my homeboy who knew who they was asked me to use the tapes. I give him the tapes. He finna transfer to another yard. We go on lockdown, he give me the tapes back. And I always remember the tape because the same picture with him, with Biggie sitting on the sitting with the diaper on, with the afro, is my little brother. We got the same picture of my little brother, rest in peace. So I slapped it in. This shit is knocking.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I was like, damn, this nigga hard. Then I slapped in the Wu-Tang Clan. And it, Cream, Wu-Tang Clan, that shit, like, and that was our theme song. So we used to piss the building off, and because at certain times in the pen, you got to be quiet time. But we at war. So at that time, we had the boombox. Man, I would slap the boombox to the door, turn the tape on, turn the Wu-Tang Clan on, and let it go. In the whole building, we had every race in the building mad at the time. We was young.
I remember the first time I heard West Coast rap, 88, 89.
88, 89.
I'm in San Antonio, Texas, and this kid, he got a convertible Cadillac. And I heard that, doom, 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 tonight, doom, 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 DJ Quick.
DJ Quick.
I'm like, damn, who's that? Yeah, I'm like, damn, who's that? So, crazy thing is DJ Quick came down a couple weeks later. It was a big shootout because remember his song, San Antonio is just like Compton? Yeah, so he came down, man, he tore the house down.
Quick
he
was
first. And then when I got to college, NWA. So one time I was playing at the police, and the cops made me roll my window down and cut my speakers out the car.
What?
You heard what I said?
They know. Wait a minute.
You heard what I said? Yeah.
Oh man, that's cold. That was a cold era back then, man.
Yeah,
Cause
he said, "Hey man, roll your windows down. Open your back door." I said, "Damn, okay."
Let that one go. That was a history lesson. We can't play this song right here.
Yeah, I said, damn.
Oh man, no Vaseline.
Oh yeah, no. Listen, Ice Cube. Look, I'm from the East Coast. I grew up East Coast, playing rock.
Hard as this song.
Big Daddy, Kane, all that. But what I like about music takes you different eras. I didn't know nothing about Compton. I didn't know nothing about that.
Yeah, nothing about it.
To the song, you're like, okay. And then when I first went out there, I had this T-shirt factory that I built in Compton. I started to see it. I was like, okay, this is different but similar to where I'm from. And then you come back to Atlanta, Jermaine Dupri, they killed it, and Master P and Cashman. So I just love all types of music. It's especially now on the phone, you can just go all over the place. Back then, you had to the tapes and the CDs, and you be like, okay, I want to be East Coast, I want to be what. Now you just hit a button and you can just, shuffle your music, and I love where music is at right now.
Mm-hmm. The process of even making music is different. I mean, because now you hear kids talk about masters. There's no such thing as mastering because you don't really. It's all digital. It's all
digital.
It's all sound. And in our documentary, we talked about the influences in music, and I think we were pretty much like coaches. And what we see right now in sports and in youth sports, I think that people don't understand like we were. We the ground coaches. We the first coaches to get the kid. In the park, you got the kid for 7 years. He playing for you through whatever league he is, and then he goes off into more organized high school and then college and that. I think people tend to forget, because like me, myself, being a felon, I can't coach at certain high schools. I do still at Crenshaw, but I think people don't get it because in that first years that's making this kid who he is and the name they're hearing about, that's through us. We the first 7 years in the park, from 5 years old till they get 14. And then they move on. What is your opinion on coaches, youth coaches, and how they affect people and affect the game?
They definitely affect. They're there. They're doing most of the groundwork.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the kids that don't have fathers.
Right.
They come from certain neighborhoods, and they see you doing what you're doing, but you saying, nah, I ain't gonna let you do that. You need to do this,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to stay over here. And everybody, leave him alone. That's how it was for me growing up in North.
Right.
Leave him alone. If I see him out there in the corner, y'all gonna have a problem. Leave him alone. Take your ass to the basketball court right there. So, you're right. It does start with us, because we the one that get them here, right? And they believe in us. They want to be like us. They listen to what we say. And then, you get them to start believing in themselves. And once they start believing in themselves, sky's the limit. I wasn't really that good, but people that was above me, that telling me I was great, made me feel like I was great.
Mm-hmm.
When you come home and your mom say you the best, boy, I'm gonna try to hit 90 in the game.
Right.
When you're looking at the thing and Kareem says he's pretty good, but he's not there yet. I'm close.
Right.
You're looking at the thing and Patrick Ewing said, yeah, Shaq's young, but he's a beast. I'm close. Like, I never really felt I was that good, but when somebody would validate me, yeah. But like in high school, I heard Dick Vitale say, man, if he goes pro, he's going to be the first pick. So now that I heard that, now I'm trying to be the first pick. And then you hear guys say, oh, he's going to be the first $100 million player. Now I'm trying to go get that. So it's very important what you say, because we get them, we bring them here, and we take them to the next level.
And then, too, we see a lot of kids, athletes, make mistakes along the way. Like, back when I came home one time, I had an incident with the youngster, the young quarterback. He had just won the championship. He had just beat USC from Tennessee. The quarterback. What was his name? Vince Young.
Texas.
From Texas. They had just beat USC, and we in the club, and we had a section. I can't remember who I was with. We had a section, and they had got the section next to us, and everybody in the section was partying, and I'm standing right outside the section on the wall, and right between their section and our section. I'm standing right here, and because they drinking, I don't drink or smoke.
You don't drink and smoke?
No, I don't drink
Me
or
either.
smoke. I never got high.
Me either.
I've never done it. I don't have no tattoos. You got tattoos?
You ain't got no tats?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't have nothing. I don't know what I'm saying. My mother's a preacher.
Okay, got it.
Well, no, she wasn't then, but my mother just didn't want me to get it, man. My mother told me it was certain things. I'm really a mama's boy, man.
Me
like
too.
I didn't
Yeah.
do a lot of that stuff, man. My mother didn't want me to get
That's
high. She didn't want me to drink.
Yeah.
She didn't know what gangbanging was.
You know why I don't get high?
Uh-uh.
True story. So you talk about a lot of guys making mistakes. My father, every time an athlete made a mistake, I would get in trouble.
Because of his mistake.
Whatever athlete, I get. My father's a drill sergeant.
Right.
So I get touched up, right? So Lynn Bias, you remember what happened to Lynn Bias?
Yeah, I remember he overdosed.
My father came in, he kicked the door in, and he got tears everywhere, and he going off. If you ever do coke, I'm gonna kill you. My dumb ass, I'm like, bro, we don't drink coke, we drink Pepsi.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
He going off, shaking me, boom, 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 doing all that, and then he finally set me down, and he was crying. He was like, see, like it was his son. And I had to watch that story because I was living in Germany at the time. I had no idea who Lynn Bias was. Never heard of him. But it's like, man, he's brother. He could be the first pick. That's why I stayed away from drugs. One time he caught me and my little brothers messing around with the beer. I had to drink a 12-pack to the head. That's why I don't like beer.
Right.
And then I said to myself,
It's saving your life.
a lot of guys drink and drive and do all that. I can't do nothing to jeopardize the empire. But forget the empire. I don't want my mother sitting like this, watching TV and seeing her son do something crazy. So I don't drink or smoke or do any of that. And I was the type that even today, when I watch people make mistakes, I try to learn from the mistakes. And I even tell kids, even if I make a mistake, learn from my mistake. Learn from it. Like, I'm not the guy, he shouldn't do that. Like, you made a mistake. I know I can't do that one.
I think it's important for kids to know that, man, that somebody can get where you are and then go from where I came from and make it and not do that. Because drug use is so rapid in our community now. And most people use drugs as a crutch because they don't know how to fight and deal with the pain. And people ask me all the time, man, how did you go through all what you went through and you never got high? Look, I made a pact with my mother I wasn't gonna do it.
Me too.
And I told her, I'm like, look, she asked me, who gonna be stronger? The niggas in the streets or your love for me? And I'm like, well, that ain't even the question. You ain't gotta ask me. You ain't even ask me that no more. Like, and then what was for me, what was unique, and I tell my sons all the time, when it came to me being introduced to drugs, I got it more from women than I did from dudes. Like the dudes in the streets.
Are you married?
Yeah, I've been married since.
All right, strike that from the tape. Stop that. Yeah, you just said, yeah, stop.
Oh no, that was pre my wife. That was pre my wife.
Stop it, dog. Man, sorry, miss you. Hey man, stop it.
She know. I mean, but
I know,
but no, I wasn't talking about now. I'm talking about it is strike that for the SHAQ is on some bullshit.
No, listen. Me and you on the video, 100 million people gonna be watching. You don't want one of our friends to be like, you hear what your husband said? Leave that shit alone, man.
But
tell him, Mark, leave that alone.
It's important for young people to understand that, because they tend to think that the pressure is going to come from the homies, and it's important for young men and young athletes to understand that pressure comes from all. It don't just come from your homies. It's gonna come from the women, the people. It's gonna become, because as you become successful, drugs are gonna become accessible.
You have to learn how to be in control.
Yes, and you know that.
Yeah, I'm in control. And again, like you said, you got to pack with your mother. I don't want my mom watching me on TV do nothing crazy. And then I'm the one that was chosen for whatever reason,
Right.
to move our family to a different place.
That's the key.
I don't want to mess that up.
That's the key right there.
The best feeling in the world is going with them people, and they looking at you crazy, and you say how much, and no matter whatever price you say I take it. So my mother, sweet lady, I had to trick her into getting a house because she don't want no $2-3 million house. She don't want it. So when we first get to Orlando, I said, Mom, come house shopping with me. So we looking. You like this? Nah, baby, it's too much. You like this? This one's cool. Oh, it's cool. Go back. Mom, come back in. I'm gonna sign the papers on the house. Sign the papers. Hand her the keys. It's a joy to watch where we come from to where we are now.
Man,
a house, living in a neighborhood with them people, driving the same cars they driving.
Right.
It's fun. I love it. And they can't question how we got the money and what we like. That's.
I live in that neighborhood too now, but mine went from being us to them coming back and taking it. So I don't even know. They like in our neighborhood where I grew up at, where I live at, is in my neighborhood.
Right.
So where the AG is maybe 3 miles down the hill, but where we live Now, white folks then came back and took the whole neighborhood. So when I moved there 16 years ago to where I live now, it's all now regentrified.
Right.
And so now it's all, it's different. So now it's different people walking their dogs up and down the street.
You know, I've probably been on Crenshaw twice.
That's it?
2 times.
Wow.
2 times.
How was that, man?
Listen, man, you know when you're not from a place, like one thing I always do is
It was with Deal Dog though.
No, but before, like one thing I don't do is disrespect the rules, whatever the rules may be.
But you was with the rules.
I know.
He was with the homie, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know who Deal Dog was, man.
No, I'm talking like when I first got there, like 96, 2000.
Okay, yeah.
Like, hey, man, I was Crenshaw. Like, cool.
Yeah, 96 I was gone, man.
Don't go down there by yourself. Like, all right, cool. Yeah, like,
I think Dog was gone in 96 too. Dog was doing time and I was doing time. And
he was a good brother, Del Dog.
yeah, he was. Yeah, he was, man. I think Del Dog is sorely missed on the east side. He was one of the dudes that kept the east side solid. And then for LA, because LA is such a big city for Crips, it's such a big blue city. And then with hip hop being like, it's more, in hip hop you see the picture of red. But when people come to LA, they have to get to understand how the culture works. And a lot of times, like with this podcast, people don't understand that checking in ain't about somebody pressing you or taking something from you. It's more about people knowing who to link up with, who to move around with, and for people to really understand who the marks are of the world. You know what I mean? Who the money marks is. Those are the people who get to the city before the talent get there and go have the relationships and know how to move the man around and know how to do things.
I think you have to be from that to understand that.
Yeah, no, and that's really true. Because I tell people all the time that in LA, you may be from Florida, but you don't want to wear a Florida Mariners hat in certain parts of LA.
And I didn't know that, but once I found that out, like,
Right.
you know, the P hat, like, you know, you can't be,
Okay.
it'll work in Beverly Hills, but once you,
Get it.
once you cross La Cienega and La Brea and all that, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta, switch that up. So you have to be from that to understand that. And then you also have to, like I was taught a long time ago, to get respect, you gotta show respect.
Yeah, real talk.
Like I used to tell the youngsters, I said, man, this LA. Can't come to the club like that all the time. I'm just, why? I said, I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm just, that's just how it is out there.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful.
But it's like that everywhere too, man. And I think where people tend to, it's just LA is just a larger market because it's so much. So, because me myself personally, when I go to New York, I check in with my partners. When I come here, I call Money Mark. I call Bear. When I come to Atlanta, because we're in Atlanta. When I come to certain places, I call them to check in. If for nothing else, to know where to go have a good time and where not to go have a good time.
Yeah, but like I said, if you're not from that, check-in means something different.
Yeah. Well, it shouldn't though.
They don't understand our language.
So Shaq, we got 10 rapid questions, right? And this is checking in. When I come to your city, where you taking me to? Like, what's the party you gonna take me to? And where we gonna go in your city? And what city are you from?
I'm from Newark, but you talking about Atlanta? When you come to Atlanta,
Yeah, man. Any city you in? I mean, you my host.
we probably gonna go to a little hookah bar and just chill out. It's just gonna be me and you, and we're just gonna go to a little spot. We're gonna sit where we sit, and we're gonna keep our eyes and head on the swivel. We ain't gonna be too loud. They already gonna know who we are. They're gonna give us our props. We're gonna smoke our hookah, have some fun, and I'm gonna drop you back off at the hotel, and then I'm gonna go home.
Okay. And if I need a couple of homies to roll with me, who are you putting with me?
Money Mark, by itself.
God damn it. Money Mark.
By itself.
What's some black-owned businesses or stores that you recommend in your city?
Let's see, my man, Custom Tea Spot, right next to Icebox. We do all the fly clothes. Slutty Vegans restaurant. And my main man, Big Will, got a couple restaurants right across from the stadium. One called Rose Cafe and one called 10.
We get in your car, what music we listening to?
Whatever you want, East Coast, West Coast, down south, but it will be bumping. So I'm in the dually right now. I got about 4 18s in that thing.
I like to hear that Biggie and SHAQ.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, what sports event are we going to? And what's your team? What team are you repping?
We're gonna go to Dallas Cowboys versus the Rams. We're gonna bet 10 stacks. I see you
Yeah,
like
we're
the
gonna whoop that ass. Yeah,
I'm assuming that you like the Rams because of your socks.
Yeah, I coach the Crenshaw Rams. That's my team.
Oh, that's your team. Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
Crenshaw
well,
Rams. But, hey, no, we still fucking with the Rams.
no, but who's your NFL team?
The Minnesota Vikings.
All right, so Minnesota Vikings versus the Cowboys. 10 racks.
You betting on the Cowboys?
I'm with Cowboys, man.
We gonna like that Danny right now. Y'all heard that, right? I'm gonna bust your ass. You just gave that money up. What? Lock it in. This question came in from Obi. She wanted me to ask Shaquille O'Neal, who's the baddest stripper in your city?
I wouldn't know. I don't go to strip clubs. I haven't been since 1996.
You can look at it that way.
Yeah, I haven't been since 1996, since I signed the big contract.
Okay.
And that's the truth. You guys see them. They ain't never seen the diesel in there doing like this. No, you know when I stopped going? This is a true story. I'm in there one day, and Usher comes in. So he comes and he gets 5,000 ones. I can't let him outdo me. I get 10. He get another 5, get another 10. So on the way out, I'm like, I just waste 30,000. I never went back.
And that's how they do it.
Yeah,
They set you
I
up
never
like
went
that.
back. No, like he in there with his 5. I'm like, I ain't gonna let little Usher outdo me. And I never went back. 30,000 gone.
Great championships. The man I love, man, Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bean Bryant, man. Y'all was the coldest team ever, but everything got an end.
I think people thought it was more about me and him. Had nothing to do with me and him. I was older. He was coming up. They wanted to give him more money. They wanted to give me less money. I can't have that happen. Because if I have that happen, it means I relinquish control.
Right.
I wasn't ready to relinquish control yet. So, you know, I got family, I got wife, I got kids, I got one to take care of. And so, you know, they wanted to do something different. And it's business.
Mm-hmm.
See, growing up in the military, every 4 years we doing something different. So I was programmed not to love it that much. So let's just say in LA I had 2 tenures. So I was there 8 years.
Right.
And then after the 8 year, my tenure is up as a soldier. You go do something else.
Right, time to move on.
But people try to make it more about me and him. That probably was my fault because I'm the master of marketing. So whenever he says something, I say something, people are going to talk about it. And what that did was that made y'all watch us.
Mm-hmm.
Knew exactly what I was doing. But if you go back and look at it, after we won the first championship, who's the first guy to jump in my arms?
Mr. Brown.
Second, same thing. Second championship, third championship. So if I had it all over if I had it all over again, what would I do different? The answer is nothing. Because we won 3 out of 4. It'd be a better story if we didn't win any.
Huh.
And people could say, man, y'all coulda, but ain't no coulda. We are the most enigmatic, most dominant, controversial 1-2 punch ever.
No, it wouldn't have been a better story if y'all didn't win.
No, but people because they always talk about. No, but they always talk about it wasn't none of this in practice. I don't tolerate that. But you know, as a leader, you got.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I go through the bullshit, man.
But I like that because
Right.
he gonna piss me off. I'm gonna get 40, and I'm gonna piss him off. He gonna get 38. You know what that's gonna do? That's gonna give us 3 championships in a row.
Derek Fisher. D. Fish, man. That was the rock to me, man.
Yeah, he was. It was my job to make sure everybody felt included. My job to lift everybody up.
I ain't never met D. Fish,
No,
man.
he's a good dude. But as a leader, you have to learn that.
Right.
Like, okay, I'm gonna get 40, Kobe gonna get 38 or 40 or whatever, but somebody gotta get 12. Somebody gotta hit a 3 in the corner. So it was my job to always keep those guys involved.
What's up with man? Where does Robert Ory fit?
I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Thank you.
7 rings. I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Thank you.
I think he's a Hall of, look, I got 2 because of Rob. Like if Rob don't hit those shots and B. Shaw and Rick Fox, I don't have 4 right now.
Bro,
Yeah.
I had this argument all the time about Robert Ory, and I'm like, look, man, they told me but he played his role. He did his job.
I definitely think he's a Hall of Famer. But like some of these bums you got in the Hall of Fame, if they in, Robert Ory should be in it.
The man had a role in everywhere he went. He had a major role.
He helped me get 2 of them.
That's big, man.
It is.
That's big. That's big for saying that.
No, seriously. Yeah.
You know, I'm all the way. I'm
That's your team, the Lakers?
what? Man, I'm
Okay.
Coney Island. I don't even watch basketball. I'm a Kobe fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Laker fan. I'm a Shaquille O'Neal and
Brown
gold.
a good dude, though.
Huh?
Brown a good dude, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just, you know, I'm just,
Oh, yeah, I understand.
you know, I was in,
Yeah, no,
I've been purple for so long.
I got it.
You know,
I got it. I understand.
It's just, you know, purple. Man.
I understand.
I might bleed and it might be purple. Well, it is going to be
Hey.
purple and gold. I love Shaq to death. And then he went green.
My bad.
We're gonna act like that year never
You know, people-
happened.
People need to learn something from me and you. A couple months ago, I said something, and you came and you said you disagreed.
Which one was it?
I don't know what you said, but my thing is, you can disagree with people without taking it there,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
Like, you know, people need to learn from that. Like, I ain't the smartest guy. I don't know everything, right? But I said something, and you was cool buddies. Like, young fella, I disagree with you, and that was it.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah,
Like, it ain't
yeah.
no, oh man, it
Right.
ain't no big you. You disagree? Okay, I understand. But
Yeah.
you know, we still got love and respect for each other. I disagree with my partners all the time. Me and Money Mark, we've been best friends for 30 years. We fight once a week. Me and Uncle Jerome fight once a day. Me and Ken Dog, we fight once a day. But the respect is there. Even with me and Kobe, we fought all the time, but we had respect for each other. So all these youngsters that's watching, y'all need to learn how to. It's okay to disagree.
Disagree, yeah.
I might have a lot of money. I ain't the smartest guy in the world. I do not know everything. So when somebody I love and respect disagree, I say, okay, you can disagree. But like, I know we all strong-minded individuals, but we ain't always right.
They ain't always right.
So like, you know, they need to learn from that. Rather than me coming back, getting in my phone, oh, but all that ain't necessary, brother.
Yeah, I just like to call this guy from Wayne. You know what I mean? I disagree with a lot of things he's doing right now. When you get to the point where I can't reach out and talk to you and try to correct you and like, look, we're trying to go down this path, I got to remove myself. I don't mind being chastised. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm bigger than the program. And so what people don't understand is that sometimes people can get to that point, but then let them have a time to breathe and come on back in. You know what I mean? And then speaking like I went through that with Nipsey in the situation, then, you know, with you and Kobe, which wasn't even that big. And the greatness of growing up and becoming men, getting older and understanding that, shit, we only gonna be here so long. I don't have the energy to be mad at this person this long.
And as long as the respect is not broken.
Exactly.
Like, I know I don't know everything. So when somebody said I disagree, I have to look at it, take it, and say, okay, you disagree. So,
Hey, you could always tell a man by his kids, because I know your kids.
I know.
You know, I know your sons outside of you. I met your sons, and I
appreciate
respect you
you too,
because
yeah, for looking out for them.
beautiful boys. I'm talking about humble, gracious, can really play the game. We almost beat them. We always beat him in the championship. Chris Shaw, when he was at what's the high school?
Crossroads.
Crossroads. We almost beat them. They only beat us by 3 points, man.
I mean, but that was a good experience for him.
Yes, that was a great experience for
Yeah,
him.
yeah, for him. 'Cause like he needed that, like people talking to him. I said, bro, you.
Yeah, we was on his head.
Yeah, I know.
We was on his head.
He told me.
We was on his head. He came through. He looking up in the audience. He looking up. We almost had him out the game. He was that big old kid, man. Where that kid, the other kid at, man? That kid was $2. They had 2 7-footers, but and it was really my first time seeing yo baby played. And really, I was like, God damn, like he really can play. This ain't just, this wasn't the daddy giving the son the reins. And then when I seen he had that surgery, man, that shit was devastating. How was he doing after that?
Oh, he's good. He's at LSU now. I try to.
Yeah, I called you on that one too.
I always try to just tell him, you have to, like I hate using this word, but I always just tell him, I said, son, you always got to persevere. Because like he wants to play so bad, he wants to be there, and I'll be like, my man, you got time, relax. But that was definitely hard for his mother. It was definitely hard for him. I try to tell him stories that they can relate to. I said, bro, I ain't never had no heart surgery, but I had knee surgery. Put me back for about 6 weeks. So what you got to do, you just gotta go back to zero and just get to the top. For him, that'll be easy for him. We kind of got similar. We got similar upbringings when it comes to sports. Mm-hmm. Like nobody knew about us. Now you know everything. Now you got to go to college. You got to start all over. You got to go to the NBA. You got to start all over. So I said, so you just got to start all over. But look, he works hard, and I always give him that other motivation. I say, hey, you ain't getting none of my cheese till you get 2 degrees.
Right.
Period. I ain't gonna be no handout. So you're gonna have to, learn how to get on your own, or you're gonna have to show me bachelor's and master's business plan, and then you can come to my office and, oh, you want to do this, you want to do that? Here you go. So I try to teach them on the education side and teach them on the sports side. And like they know and understand that. The girls got a different deal, but the boys, I don't.
Oh yeah. That's the Quran. That's the Quran. The girls get the adherence, the boys got to get the name and build off and understand how to build the business. Yeah. That's Quranic. That's in the Quran. But you have some, because I met both of them. I know both of them. With the oldest one and the other one. I can't remember their names, but
Sharif and Shakir.
And you can see it in them. You can see that they respect the name, they honor the name. We in the house and they know their space, they know where they are. They're not involved in the bullshit. I'm watching them, I'm looking like, damn. And unfortunately for me, I was gone so long, I couldn't give my sons what you were able to give yours. And because your sons were able to hear a different image of you, mine's heard the streets on me. So they felt obligated to take that. And I don't think people understand that sometimes you don't have to be in a kid's life every moment of the day. You know what I mean? For a kid to take something. And you can see the difference. So mine took the streets. But my youngest one, who I was in his life, and he's in college. And then yours are forming like you. And what people don't understand is I remember when my son was balling and you called me and you said I can get him at LSU. If you have any problems, let me know, bro, what you want to do. And that right there was big for me, because you called me out of nowhere. You're like, I got you.
It's called networking.
Yeah.
And I wish we get our act together. We're some of the most powerful beings on this earth. Imagine if we all just network. Like I do a lot of that stuff because it's all about.
You do, man. You didn't even have to do that.
It's all about just helping people out. I mean, because I've seen the highlights and I know who he is. I was like, you know what? If he's at LSU, he can get that shine, and maybe he can get help him get to that next level.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, man. That just shows who you are, and the network we have it, but just as a man and talking, somebody dealing with kids and having their own kids. People need to understand the work that you do and you do for other people. You called Benny about the show. You called a couple of people, and people don't understand, man, that you are so connected to our plight. You know what I mean? And it's not known. I think a lot of people, they just look at you as you a Shaquille O'Neal. They don't know that, man. You really got the grimy side, like you really own it. And you really be reaching out. You reach out to Wacko. You know what I mean? And
that's my man right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And Wacko love you to death. You know what I mean? And the thing about it, because you don't have to. You don't have to reach back. You could be on a whole other plane but you do it.
It's just that I see y'all doing great stuff.
Right.
I really do see y'all doing great, similar to what I'm doing. And for me, it's all about the kids. Mm-hmm. It's all about the kids. So, if I could help y'all in any way with what y'all doing, I'm Killer Cali. You just call me Money Mark and it's done.
We only had a YMCA, right? But we don't have one in our neighborhood.
Oh, you don't?
Nah, and what people don't understand the difference between our neighborhood, we don't have nothing in our neighborhood. Because gang culture separates our city like no other place in the world. So if you growing up in the 60s, and I think we got like maybe 1 or 2 parks that we go to. And we don't really have a place for kids to go to. And that's what I'm trying to develop right now, a place for our kids to go to, and then we can teach them, because what we're not getting in schools is how to become a man after you graduate and you 18 and your mother and your father saying, oh, you grown now, go get a job. But you ain't never been trained to have a job. Our kids don't know how to work 8 hours, 12 hours a day, because their only work was going to school. So now you're talking about get out of school, go do this. So it's a gestation period that kids go through where they almost in a depressed mode. So then they try to go to these junior colleges after that, and they muling away. So now that depression draws them to just using drugs to try to find out a way to deal with, the stress of not having it. Now you're 18, 19, you got to go get it somehow. And it's a world where everything is competition. Where you come from, y'all was giving me this, now you're telling me to go out and compete just to get a pair of tennis shoes. So I want to be able to do something that can help our young people start off than doing that. You know what I mean? And so we're looking to start programming for that.
All right, let me know.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring you in on that. Here go the last segment. This is the most important segment of the show. This is called the Grandocious. Now, what the Grandocious is when you give us your most grandiose story. You got 1 minute to give us the most grandiose story. Now, it could be about truth, lies, exaggeration, whatever have you. A grandiose story could be like, I just rode a camel up here. You know what I mean? And I rode
It was one night Mark and Dale Dog came and picked me up, but we ain't gonna tell that story.
You gotta know who Dale Dog is.
My grandiose story has to deal with financial literacy. So I got $1 million. My agent called me and said, hey, you got $1 million. I'm putting it in your bank account. Know nothing about FICA, knew nothing about sales state tax. So now I went from being broke to being rich. So I got to go to the dealership and get that black on black jammy. I don't know nothing about no negotiation. I'm going in there and they tell me it's 150. I ain't the smartest guy in the world, but I know 150 minus $1 million. Shit, I still got 850 left. Let me get that right now. Yes, sir. Boom, boom, boom. Get to the crib. My dad said, where mine at? Shit, get in. Give him the same car. So now I spent $300,000. Got $700 left. Mom wants one too. I'm not gonna get her the big one. I'm gonna get her the little one. $100. I got to go to the jewelry store, get me a dookie rope, a little chain. I got to get me a pinky ring. I got to get me a Reilly because I'm hitting the club that night. I'm gonna sit in my section till they can see me. So the next day I get a call from the bank manager. He said, hey man, you spent all the $1 million? And I'm like, no. And like I'm memorizing these stories about how people steal money from athletes. So I get to the bank and I'm in there. I said, there it is. Who the fuck is FICA? FICA done took $250,000. My guy, and the guy's like, Shaq, you need to educate yourself on money. So all these young kids out here that's getting money, make sure you educate yourself on money. And remember this, it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you can keep.
I don't know if that was grandiose or not, but goddammit, FICA is a motherfucker.
Yes, he is.
FICA and Bill.
FICA done took about $700 million from me already, easily. And I don't even know who he is.
FICA. Understand who FICA is.
I got a lot of grandiose stories. I can't tell.
Can we get another one?
No, man. Listen, man, I'm from your era. I don't know nothing. I ain't seen nothing. I don't know nothing, man.
that grandiose, man. But listen, though. Look, before we close out, look, we've been on here. We've been having fun. Great interview. And you'll always hear about the people, like Hip Hop Uncovered, people behind the scene. I'm going to bring my man Money Mark in. Money Mark, come on, man. Because y'all need to see.
Shout out to Auntie Deb and Demi. That was great.
Yeah. You keep my man Money Mark in here, man, because it's always those people who always on side or behind great men, and this is one of the people behind Shaq, you know, and this is how this thing happens, man. This is how it happens. It's always somebody that's in the back just trying to make whatever decision the leader of our squad come up with. We the ones that go out and make that thing happen. You know, Shaq can have an idea he want to do something, he gonna call him. Nip can have an idea he want to do, he gonna call me. Somebody, and that's what we do. We deliver. We help them deliver that picture. But come on, man.
What's up, fam?
Come on, man. Come on, man. Give us a story, man. Then give us a grand dose.
Don't do it.
Come on, man. We need one. Come on, man. Cause you've been with this man. How long you been with Shaq?
94?
Nah.
No, 92.
92, 91.
Yeah, 92.
Damn, that's like right after. That's like almost right after it started.
Yeah.
Damn, 92.
Yeah, big
And you went to LA with him.
yeah. Yeah.
So you was all of the LA run.
Oh yeah, all of it.
All of it.
All of it.
And you live where you live at now?
In Atlanta.
You live in Atlanta.
Yep.
You from Atlanta?
Nah, New York.
You from New York?
Yeah, New York.
So New Jersey, New York, and y'all in the South.
In the South, yeah.
How was it going to LA? Had you already been to LA before you went with Shaq?
Yeah, I had already been there, and I knew a little bit of the politics and some of the players in the city. You know.
And that's important. Like, when you don't know the rules, you got somebody to tell you the rules. Like, if you always respect somebody, you can always listen to them.
Right.
Like, hey, man, don't go over there. And the crazy thing, I be certain places, I don't know how the hell he know. Hey, man, stay your ass up out of there. How you know? Big dog, stay up out of there. Got it.
Right.
Got it.
Right.
Stay up out of there.
So how you know?
You probably don't remember this, you. I'm gonna give you a big U story. I was in Vegas, and one of your little homies from the '60s that got out of pocket, and he didn't know who I was, and I called you on the phone, and you got on the phone with him. But then the next day, I just happened just to be calling you. And me and him, from that day, me and him, we've been tight.
Right. I mean, you know, it's just really about respect, though, because sometimes, because me, I'm big on respect. I'm big on respecting anybody, and it ain't really a lot about, because I don't charge niggas nothing, I don't ask people for nothing. I'm gonna be, because I look at it to build bridges. Like, I might be in your city and be at your behest. So I don't even remember the incident all the way. I just know we always call each other. I can call Shaq, I can call you. If I'm in Atlanta, I can call you. You know what I mean? And the thing is, he trusts me with his sons, and you trust me with your son. You know what I mean? You call me immediately. My son moving around. My son want to meet you. I called your son this morning trying to get your number. And that's what people don't understand. It's not even about checking in. It's about when you build that relationship and you build that bond across states and cities. I can call Trick from anywhere. I can call Trick, Demi, Deb, and tell them, my sons is coming to your cities now. My son is going to be out there. And that's what's important, man. You know?
Because that's, that's how the politics, because Shaq heart is so big. So when the NBA players would come to LA, and some rappers, they would get booked.
Yeah.
And he would get on the phone to get their shit back. You know, and that's where you at? Who took it? And then that's when you got to pick up the line. You know, Del Dog, Big U, Wacko. You know,
Snap.
Oh yeah,
Took it.
yeah. Hey man, hey, let him out the trunk, man. I let him out the trunk and give him his stuff back.
Strike that from the tape, man. You know, no problem.
Well, you gotta know the dudes who take shit, right? How we gonna get it back if we don't know who take
I
it?
don't know nothing, man.
Hey,
Man, I'm just saying.
Hey, man, give him his stuff back, man. But
You gotta know the dudes to take it.
I mean,
but the crazy part about it was the bureaucracy of the LA life. We would try to assign certain people to move around with some of the ball players.
Yeah.
Just so that they could enjoy themselves because they was naive to the politics or the streets.
Right.
And they be like, oh no, I got my own security. Like who?
Like, all right.
Right here with the thing in his ear. He gonna save you? Oh, okay. All right. And then 2 hours later, hey man, where were your security? I don't know where he at. But yo man, then I took my earring, and took my watch, man. All right, man, we get it back.
Because LA politics is crazy. Now I'm gonna revisit it. Then we gotta close it out. But what people don't understand when you come to LA is different because in LA everybody can't carry a gun.
Correct.
Not even certain off-duty police and security cannot land in LA with a gun. Mm-hmm. And if you're an ex-felon, like being a la rappers, you can't even be with somebody who has a gun.
Correct.
Because you're an ex-felon. So he can't even secure you with a gun.
Correct.
And then when they moved, I think they changed the law in '95, even off-duty prison guards can't do security no more with a gun. So LA dudes know that. Mm-hmm. LA dudes know he can't. We own him for the heat. And they don't understand that. Like, so when people be coming to the town, they be like, it's only so much they can do.
Yeah, man.
All right, so me and you got one thing in common when we was both young. We both had them long jerry curls. My shit was like New Edition. I used to be like, shit.
What a picture?
I ain't got the picture. But I'm gonna get it to you. My shit was,
yeah, we got to see that picture.
Hey, in the back, my shit was like, Mr. Telephone Man.
You did? You did. Hey, man, look, they don't understand big fellas have fun, too, man. They don't know, man. Yeah. Mark, you ain't that big, but you know what I'm saying? You all right with us.
I'm a little fella.
Look, man, we going to close it out, man. I wanted to say thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. Your host, Big U, and we got the legendary, world-renowned, world travel, and the man with the biggest heart, with an S on his chest, Shaquille O'Neal. For the neighborhood.
Yeah, man. See, what y'all don't understand is you got to check in, man. Everywhere I go, I check in, man. No, I don't get checked, I check in. It's a big difference, man. You gotta really understand what